Hello and welcome to the Knit Girls. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. Today is...
Oh, I didn't say the episode number. This is episode 419.
Mm-hmm. Today is December the 11th, 2019. We're both a little slap happy. Laura needs sleep.
Well, there's that.
And I need, like, an influx of ibuprofen. Because the show lights are, like, going right into my brain right there. But that's okay.
The struggle is real.
The struggle is, yeah, first world problems.
And we're gonna make it through.
So, yeah, crafting this week. I feel like it's a hodgepodge. I have so many things I want to make and no ambition to get them done.
I keep casting stuff on.
Oh, well.
And the only ambition that I have is I have deadlines and everything. So, like, the stuff that I was working on last week that I still have deadlines on, I'm like, I'll be fine. It only has to be mailed by Friday. I never even took my this bag that contained all the stuff that I recorded with, never took it into the house. It's still out in my car. But I started so many new things that I don't need to. I have another bag that I filled full of new projects, so...
I find that all the time. I try to use reusable, like, tote bags all the time, even if I'm going to Walgreens or something. I don't always, but I try. And... you know, I feel very pious when I do, and I come in and I have a bag full of, like, groceries or something, and I unload it, and then I take it back out to the car, and then somehow the next day, it's in the house, filled with random yarn or crafting-related paraphernalia, and there's just a huge, there's like a pile of them on my sofa that I have to go through and find stuff to put, or find places to put this stuff. Anyway.
So you have a lot of whips. Hey, maybe this year, instead of doing my whips, we can do your whips. That'll be fun. My whips are old news, and none of them have gotten done this year.
Very old news.
Well, that's true. I might do the
anyway.
detention owl this coming term. It doesn't count towards my owl mistress, but it'll get some stuff off the needles. And I think I'll be a happier person.
Whatever makes you happy, my friend.
There's that. Alright, would you like to go first, or would you like me to
I'll
go
first, because
okay.
I have one thing.
Where's your sweater?
I didn't work on it all week, so I didn't bring it to show.
That's right, you brought that sock, that's a sock.
Yeah.
Over to my house.
And I have some spinning, and I have some weaving, so I just don't have a lot of knitting this week. I'm off this week, so technically I should have a ton to show you.
You're off this week? I thought you were off next week.
No, I'm off this week.
Oh.
I have to burn PTO, and next week is too close to the holidays, so other people already had that time off.
Oh.
I don't mind it so much, though, because everybody will be off during the holidays, and I'll still be able to knit.
You should come hang out with me at work tomorrow.
Sure.
I don't have anything going on with the spelling bee.
About the spelling bee. Laura's favorite.
I am going to show books and stuff in the middle, but I don't have, like, classes. Except the spelling bee stresses me out, y'all. Like, I get very, like, my Fitbit, my Apple Watch is going to go up and off and be like, I'm sorry,
breathe.
You need to breathe. Because the whole, like, I get so stressed for our kids, but also, like, I'm a terrible speller. Like, my brain connections do not work right, in case you've not noticed that. When it comes to spelling and Yoslanda, another thing, Malabrigo, is that what we were saying?
Malabrigo, yeah.
Instead of Malabrigo. So, like, the whole thing stresses me out. Plus, it's the only time, really, throughout the year that I have lots of parents in my library.
Yeah.
Which is also, so, like, today we cleaned. My 6th graders decided to stick gum in the door jamb today. So I got to unstick some gum.
That's
Gooby
nice.
Gone is awesome. Yeah, that was super kind of them.
Too bad you can't figure out which one did it.
I don't really care. I do care in that we don't put gum on door jambs.
I would just say
also...
it would be nice to make them clean it.
Yeah.
Not to, like, take them out and beat them in the town square or anything.
It wasn't like a long fix. I took a pair of scissors and went and it came off. And then I threw the scissors out. They were like $1.
Yeah.
They're like super cheap scissors.
They
were tainted and I could no longer have them.
Yeah.
In my library, yeah.
If you want to gross Laura out, just talk about using a sponge for dishes.
Oh, sponges are gross, y'all. So gross. Oh.
So this is knitting. This is...
Is it?
Knit Spin Farms, Unusual Holidays or something like that.
Yeah, the new shipment coming like this week. I'm super excited.
And this...
It's non-traditional holidays,
there you go.
I think.
This one is like Nacho Day or something.
Yeah.
There's like layers of guacamole and corn chips and blue corn chips and salsa.
Yeah.
And something else, I forget. But I'm just doing the vanilla bean pattern. I did a simple slip stitch heel. Maybe? Not sure. I'm not in any hurry. This isn't for anyone specific. This is just, I haven't knit a sock in a long time.
Yeah.
And I like the yarn. It's a Targhee.
Ooh, Targhee's so squishy.
Feel how like dense my sock is.
Oh God.
Comparatively.
Then are you going to feel how non-dense my sock is in a couple seconds? Wow. You're like steel.
And that's on a 1.
That's on a 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's funny.
But I feel like this is a pretty beefy fingering.
I would agree with that. I have the club subscription that I get is her sport weights.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
That's smart.
It's either Targhee or Cordell. She has interesting breed-specific bases, which I appreciate a lot. You did like an undergusset.
No, I just did
a heel turn. A liar. Oh.
It's a regular heel turn.
Yeah, you did. You know how long it's been since I've seen a regular heel turn?
Laura prefers toe up.
A long time.
And when she does top down, it's usually like fish lips or a short row of some kind.
It's usually a heel turn, but...
Is it?
I probably haven't done a top down heel. Someone's going to correct me because they're going to be like, you did one 6 months ago, but it's probably been at least a year, if not more. I usually do them... It's probably been a year because I usually do them for my brother-in-law for Christmas.
Yeah, that's
not what he's getting this year. I still haven't decided what heel I'm going to put on his socks, but I should totally get on those because I need to ship them by Friday. And today is Tuesday, and I have half a sock knit.
You need 3/4 more knit before they get sent off. So that's really my only knitting that I have this week.
It's pretty knitting, though.
I'm boring, but I'm okay with that.
Were there lots of baby savings?
Yeah, sometimes the dragon game that I play, called, I think Merged Dragons is what it's called. But sometimes, like, every 6 weeks or so, they have, like, a weekend-long event.
Oh.
Where it's a special board, and you can win prizes and stuff.
Wow.
So it's possible that I spent, like, 10 hours playing that game this weekend. I mean, it's possible.
That could have been what happened?
It could have happened.
Perhaps. What color are your dragons? Are they all different colors?
They're all different kind. There's, like, a cat dragon that wears a tuxedo.
Wow.
There's like a doll dragon, and they all have different like levels of power and stuff.
Super fancy.
Yeah. You don't know my dragon.
I don't know your dragons. That made me think another Crafty Girl's doing a club. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, it's like
it's toys. Yeah, it's like childhood toys, and I was like, man, I want a dragon. That flipped in my head to toys. This is how my logic works.
She does great like inspiration colorways.
She does, and this one you can choose your base between like 4 different bases, and you can choose her worsted or her sport weight. So I had a hard time deciding. I'm getting worsted for the first one.
Yeah,
I can change at any time because Punky's awesome. So that's another Crafty Girl, and she's not paying me to say that. I actually paid for the club subscription.
Laura has been a big fan of Punky's.
I love her yarn. I love her bulky. I wish she would do that for the club because her bulky is one of my favorite.
There's somebody did. I want to say it was the Fat Squirrel did a sock or something. No, it was a cowl out of another Crafty Girl, and it was in the colorway of like the people that inspire us or something. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something like the people that inspire us or
I don't know that one.
And so I went to, and I really loved it. It was kind of a rainbowy sort of color. And I went to look.
These are not the socks that I was looking for.
And there wasn't any in her shop, but they had a lot of other gorgeous colors. She had a lot of other gorgeous colors.
I bet you if you contact her.
I'm sure I could.
Oh my god, how many pairs of socks do I have in my book bag?
How many Fat Squirrel bags do you have in your book bag?
2. I also found a random needle earlier when I was cleaning my book bag out at work because I really needed a soda. like really badly.
I've been there, I understand.
And I had a quarter in my desk and a quarter in my like change pocket.
How much do you need for a soda?
75 cents. And I went total scrounge dive for the rest.
Did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Good.
But the sweetest part was I was like doing it, and I had kids that were trying to check out books, and I'd stop and I'd check out, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm looking for a quarter," and they're like, "Miss Lindemann, I have 50 cents.
Aww.
I'll give it to you." Like I had 3 kids tell me that, and I was
so
like,
nice.
"That is so sweet. You keep your 50 cents." One was like, "I'll just go buy you a soda," and I was like, "No, I got this. I'm an adult. I will find a quarter." That's when you know you're a teacher, is when you need one more quarter. And I had a freaking quarter earlier this week, and when I put in the Coke machine, it ate it. Like, and...
You know what's funny is, at least one of those kids is going to think back in 20 years and be like, somebody's going to say, "Do you remember your librarian? I remember she needed quarters for soda."
Always needed quarters for soda. And I try not to drink more than 1 soda at school a day. Today was like a 4 soda day.
Yeah.
But then I begged $1 off of one of my coworkers, who I taught when she was, well, I didn't teach her. She was in my building as an 8th grader, my first year there. And she's like, "Well, you buy me pizza all the time. Here's $1." Mm-hmm. And then I didn't spend it because I didn't have enough time to go to the soda machine because I had kids for the rest of the day. So then I put it in the Salvation Army bucket when I was checking out at the grocery store. Anyway, that's the story of my $1 today. That was very drawn out. I'm knitting on some socks too. I don't even know that they're halfway done. They're not halfway done. How many inches do you think that is? Let's play this game. I think it's around 7.
I would say somewhere between 6 and 7. There's tape measures right there.
So I need these to be closer to 8, and then I'll put it in some kind of heel. I mean, it depends on the style of the heel, on how long I need it to be. 6. So these need to get some serious work tomorrow. These and my grandmother's wristers need to get some serious work. So these are socks from my brother-in-law. And they are lollipop yarns. And her beefcake base, which is more of a sport weight base. And the colorway is Troublemaker, which is perfect for my brother-in-law.
I like the tonality of the colors.
I do too. I kind of wish that I was keeping these for me, but they sadly are not. And these are being knit on size 1 needles because they're sport weight. And my size 1 needle knitting with sport weight is much more flexible than Leslie's.
Mine will stand up on its own. I knit more densely than Laura.
That's true. So that's being knit on size 1 needles. That is hanging out in my Judgy Rabbit Fat Squirrel bag. It also has a matching little heel toe cuff ball. So I might use that because he's got size like 10 feet, which is not huge for a man. But it might stress. I don't know how many yards are in here. Let's find out. So it's 330 yards, and then 82 yards of heel toe.
Oh, okay.
So that might just be like right at the limit. So I might need to do the others in the like either the heels or the cuffs, and that contrast. So that's in the Judgy Rabbit bag, which is living in my workbook bag. I'm also knitting on this giant yellow thing. It's not even that giant. It's pretty small, actually. But it's going to become giant. This is a boomerang style shawl. It is called the Orbit Shawl. And I'm knitting it out of Volmiza DK in the Limone colorway. And it's being knit on size 7 needles. The pattern calls for size 8s. I do secret pal swaps with people at work. And I've been terrible and haven't done it for like 2 weeks, but I had gotten her some big stuff prior to that for her birthday. So, my secret pal loves the color yellow, and she loves bright colors. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this fits both. It ticks both those boxes. And she's admired my hand knits before. Oh, and she also asked for a scarf. So
it's very subtle. I love yellow, and I love scarves.
And she's the person who runs Secret Pals, so I'm pretty sure she knows who
did
she
that
got.
on purpose. She totally did that on purpose.
So, I got her Longwood. Is it Longwood? Longview? So I have two favorite lip balm people. One is Tucked Woolens. Martha is fabulous. And then the other one is, man, I have so much lip stick in here that I never wear. Just for those special occasions. Oh, I found another heart lozenge.
Did you find a quarter?
Oh my gosh, did I? Let's look. I might have. No. I did find a Kinder Egg toy.
Nice.
And 4 lipsticks, but I like the Long Winter Farm. And I bought myself last year Honey Badger. And for my Secret Pal, I'm going to put some on, I got her Mommy's Juice Box, which is wine flavored. So.
Is she a mom?
Yes. She has 2 little boys. So, anyway. That's fun. So this is for her, and I have to get it done by Tuesday, because that is our end of year. It is the end of the year, technically. End of year shindig. And this is also for next Tuesday. So that is living in my super happy bear. I kind of feel like this is a almost Christmassy kind of fall bear. Like he's just chilling in the woods.
It's a polar bear in the woods, as they often are.
Adaptations today. So my 6th graders are doing a research unit in the library right now, all the science classes, and it's been really fun, but they have a different ecosystem assigned to them, and they have to say, like, what animals live in that ecosystem and what adaptations they have to survive or thrive in that ecosystem. So polar bears, because they couldn't remember what an adaptation is, polar bears were the example that I gave. I was like, what color are bears down here? FYI, our bears down here are a lot of different colors.
Do we have any rainbow bears?
No. We've gotten black, brown, red, which I've never seen a red bear, but you know, whichever. Anyway, and then, well, what color are polar bears? Why do you think they're white versus brown? Why, you know, blah. Anyway, so I have a polar bear bag. Because that's my life right now.
I feel like polar bear's fur is also hollow.
I think they have like a blubber layer and like a extra
the overcoat, like
thick layer to keep warm. We also talked, like, my other example is alligator teeth. Alligators eat lots of bones.
Oh.
Because they eat things
like whole.
Yeah. And they're always shattering their teeth. Well, alligators have, like, nesting doll teeth.
Oh, really?
So as soon as they break a tooth, another one's right there. Wouldn't that be amazing? That is an adaptation that I can get behind.
Look,
for me.
My mouth's already screwed up enough. The last thing I need is more teeth trying to shove their way
alligator teeth. So they constantly, like, grow
So they've
teeth.
just got...
So their teeth are hollow.
But are they born with all these teeth, or do they just grow?
I think they grow. I don't know. That's a good question. But they have teeth with it, and they have nesting doll teeth. So that when they break one off, they immediately have another one to continually devour flesh and bone and
that's
whatever.
Important, yeah.
It is. Anyway, adaptations. The other thing that I'm knitting that I have to get done by Tuesday is my school resource officer, who's a very kind gentleman, and we've worked together since like 2010.
The school resource officer is code for the police officer.
Yeah.
On school grounds.
Yeah. So we've worked together for a long time, and he saw me knitting the other day, and he asked me if I would make his wife a hat for Christmas from him. And I told him I would, and that I didn't want any money for it. And he keeps saying that he's going to pay me, and I'm like, no, I don't want any money for it. And, so I pulled up a bunch of patterns on Ravelry on my phone, and I was, like, showing him different ones, and he really liked the Ice River hat from, Helen Stewart.
Yeah.
And then he saw, like, the pattern price for the ebook, which was like $12.95, and he's like, "Oh, so you can do it for $12.95," and I was like, "Yeah, you're not giving me money for this. Like, we are not doing that." So this is the start of the Ice River hat. It's 1 repeat in. I think I'm gonna do 3 repeats. I've knit this pattern before, and I feel like it was a little bit short.
I don't remember.
So I think I'm going to do 3. I also did the smaller size just because, to be honest, I ran out of tail casting on, and I didn't feel like casting on more stitches. And I tend to knit large to begin with, like, so, and it's a lace pattern, so I feel like it can be blocked to a suitable size. Like, it's obviously bigger than 16 inches. I would say it's probably 18 inches around. It's just on
the needle. It looks little.
And I feel like most women's head is in, like, the 20-inch
I would say circumference. Probably, yeah.
And you do want a little bit of negative ease, but also this is a superwash yarn. So I feel like it's going to grow a little bit. This is Malabrigo in the, which base is this one? The Mecha base, which is, like, their bulky single. And it is, yeah, it's being knit on size 9 needles. Calls for 10, and I'm knitting on 9s, which is a good, and I've used this yarn before and really like it. It's a good, chunky, I wouldn't really say it's bulky, even though they say it's bulky. It's a good chunky yarn. A single. So, yeah, 1 repeat is done. Gonna do 2 more, and then there's just a little bit of decreases, and then it'll be done. You might not see either of these 2 projects complete, any of these projects complete, because they might be gone by the next time we record. Such is life. But, you know, it is what it is. Now I'm, like, doubting how big this hat is.
It's plenty big enough.
Okay. I think it will be. And if not, I'll just knit another one and give this to a small-headed friend.
It's plenty big enough.
So, that's that, and that's also living in a fat squirrel bag. This is Christmas trees for sure.
This is the 3rd fat squirrel bag I've seen.
But this is the 4th that you've seen.
You're right, it is the 4th. Today, not like ever.
Why you gotta be so mean to me?
So I have no finished objects. Do you have any?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I have spinning that's still in the bobbins. But you've finished spinning, right?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead?
Okay. I have this past month's Patreon prize. All the singles are done. I just need to do the flying of it.
It's going to be really pretty.
I think so. It's hard to tell because, like, the bobbins look very brown, but there are, like, there's that bright purple.
There's, like, a blue
and a blue and a dark and then that brown. I kind of, like, the brown kind of sucked out my life and will to live with this project. But it's going to be a 3-ply. It was spun on my ladybug, and I'm going to ply it probably tomorrow. I also spun the rest of, which I didn't bring with me because I forgot. I spun the rest of the Hip Strings Pittsburgh boxes, so I need to apply those as well. But yeah, that's done. And it is Hello Yarn in the Rambouillet base, which is not one of my favorite bases to spin.
I don't think you really enjoyed Rambouillet.
But I'm excited to see how this puffs up.
Yeah.
This Rambouillet was better than most Rambouillet that I've had before. It's just like a fine merino. Rambouillet is actually a French merino. It was illegal to export merino sheep out of England at one point, I believe. And so this is like the stolen French merino sheep. I feel like that's a true story.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's in Fleece and Fiber source book. I could totally be making all of that up. But it is the Hover colorway. It was the September 2018 Club colorway. So that is what I have on the bobbins. That 4 ounces ready to be applied. And I have another 2 ounces of Hip Strings, the last of the Pittsburgh Merino Silk box at home to be plied. And that'll be chain plied. This will just be 3-plied. So that's all I've got. But you have lots of stuff. You're very fancy.
Well, I don't know about that. 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. I think that I'm done reducing on this. We'll see. Alright, so I do have some spinning. Last week I had finished the spinning of this, and now I don't know where I put it.
It was in your chair, and then you got up, and we're writing the tag for it.
So I had finished spinning this last week, but it was still on the bottom.
How much did you get? That's the Knit Spin Farm, right?
516 yards of about a D. And that's 6 ounces, though.
But still, that's excellent yardage.
It hasn't been washed. It hasn't been given its bath yet, but...
And that's a bat, so it's a semi-woolen, would you say? Did you spin it long draw?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so it's a semi-woolen.
And there's 4 different kinds of wool and some silk in it. There's like Targhee, merino. So there's like 4 different kinds. I forget what they all are now.
It's really pretty.
But yeah, I'm happy with how it came out. It's got little like pops of the sari silk in there.
I love that when she does that with her bats. It makes me super happy.
Like the yellow. If I can get it to focus.
Maybe.
Nope. Sorry. But yeah, it came out nice. It does need a bath, and it is it's definitely worsted spun. Like it doesn't have a lot of bounce to it, but it's because of the way I spun it, not because of the wool.
So pretty.
But yeah, I'm happy with how it came out. I think it'll be a really nice shawl, or part of a shawl, like a multicolor shawl. We'll see.
That would be great for something like Dunn Park Triangle.
Yeah, I was thinking of a Dwayne Park, yeah. With like a plain white wool edge or something.
Ooh, or a dark like purple or blue or gray. Or gray.
Are you just gonna name all your favorite colors? Because that's what it sounds like.
Oh my god, it was. Could I say gray a couple more times if we're doing that?
Because really, that's the one. But yeah, so this was spun on the King Bee, the Spinolution King Bee, and I used the modified orifice that Michael made that I totally forgot to bring up. But
have you gotten any questions from people about that? Okay.
Nope. Not yet.
If you want to keep that orifice here, I'm going to use the hook when I spin.
Well, it's on. I was just figured we'd keep everything together, so.
That's always a good plan in our lives.
Actually, I want to give you this, too. This is the bobbin.
Hey, that's my bobbin.
And
thanks.
The other thing I spun was, so when our friend Ro, who lived in Georgia, when she passed away several years back, her husband sent most of her fiber paraphernalia and yarn and stuff to me, and we've given away tons of it over the years, and I still find myself giving away some of it. But this was one where she had started spinning on a spindle. She didn't make a ton of progress. I think there's like 2.5 ounces here, and this was Frabjous Day.
Oh, Knitting in Color.
By Knitting in Color.
I remember that colorway. You know what that's an allusion to?
Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, which is the best.
And this is just merino. And so what I did was I spun it as a single, what was left.
But a thicker single, right?
Yeah, a thick, fluffy single. And then I thread plied it. It's like a spiral ply with thread. Although
silk.
Yeah, it was a silk thread that Laura had at her house, black one, and I used
silk lace weight from Webs.
I am so annoyed with this camera; it is not wanting to focus. There we go. So I used Jillian Marino's Knitty article from 2014
about spiral ply.
About spiral ply, because I couldn't get the placement of the yarn, like the single versus the thread. It wasn't going the way I wanted, and it's because I had them in the wrong place.
Oh.
Once I put them the way that Jillian suggested, it worked great.
Huh.
I'll add the link in the show notes to that. But yeah, I'm happy with this. I got 244 yards. It was pretty quick. We watched like 4 episodes of Nailed It, the holiday one.
We watched all of them, 7.
And yeah, I was just talking about for this one. And there was the surprise craft one at the end.
Yes.
Which I hope they continue.
I agree.
In that vein, It's funny. But, yeah, so I don't know what I'll do with this. Probably use it for a weft in something. Who knows? It's not super strong, so it's not something I would use on its own for tension. So, we'll see. But I like it. I think it came out pretty. And it's very light and fluffy. So, this is Laura's uh-oh.
No.
I've messed up a count face.
I have one more row.
Okay.
So I didn't mess up.
She was counting.
That was on my last row, so I had to count. I have 66 stitches, and I need 67 before I can do some yarn over magic. Some magic.
I feel like you've been battling counts on this shawl since you started it.
I think I just battle
counts
math
in general.
Yeah.
So I have weaving content as well. So
oh, look at those!
I talked about
Those are almost purple and gray.
I talked about last time the what is it called?
The club that you joined?
Yes, the Cotton Clouds Rigid Heddle Towel of the Month Club. That's a mouthful. But so I wanted to get the first one done because I wanted to see how I liked it. Except I neglected to read when I signed up that it was designed for rigid heddles that have a 25-inch width, and the Cricut has a 15-inch width.
Oh, you can borrow my flip.
Well, I have one that I bought from Vicky, which is like a 32-inch width.
Oh.
A couple years ago I bought it from her.
Is it the Ashford one that you have? Okay. Does it have the right reeds, dents?
I don't know, because I was just like, I'm just going to change the width.
Yeah.
And just, make them narrower, because I didn't feel like setting up all that crap. I should have, but I didn't.
I think they came out fine. I don't think they look like they're too narrow.
They are a little narrow for my liking, but, and they haven't been washed yet. The cotton in them, see how there's all these little holes? Once you wash them, the cotton will bloom a little.
Gotcha.
And it'll fill the holes.
Those are pretty.
But,
and they're perfectly mirrored.
Yeah, they're not at all. But, yeah, the mirroring on the colors is good on one side, but on the other side, it's out of order. And I don't care.
I think they still look super cute.
So I was
I'd
able
take
to
them
get
for my kitchen.
I was able to get 3 out of the kit. I probably could have gotten more if I'd worked better, but I got close to the end and my warp threads were all uneven and tangly, and I just decided to cut it off the loom. And
then did you hem it on a sewing machine?
I did. So what I did was the edges, if I had done the weaving well and kept the tension even, the edges could have been left alone, but I didn't. So I did a double fold hem, and then for the corners I cut like a little triangle out and did a double fold hem on both sides so that it would meet sort of in the middle like a quilt binding, how you do the corner. But yeah, so I just did a fold over.
Cute.
And hemmed it on the sewing machine last night.
So that was your first club kit from them. Are you getting another one?
Yeah, but I won't get it for a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully I'll not be a lazy butt and set up the Ashford so that I can actually do the pattern as designed, as written.
But you don't have a stand for the Ashford, do you?
I think she had a stand. I'm going to look, because I have a whole bag full of reeds and pickup sticks and shuttles for
other
it.
Paraphernalia.
Yeah, so I just need to go through it and see if I've got. If not, it can like sit on my kitchen table. It's not.
That's true. You have a kitchen table
I
that's
do.
useful.
It's buried, but it is there. That's where Michael's like shipping station is. So he's got like, it's covered in like parts of bubble mailers and air foam stuff and whatever.
Whatever it is that Michael does.
Yeah.
That's the magic that he does. I saw he shipped out a bunch of prizes the other day.
He did. So I think I've got one prize that I just got the email address for, or the mailing address for, and that's it.
Cool.
So, we're supposed to review a book today. Totes forgot.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to have to push that to next week because I didn't give Laura a chance to look at it.
I didn't even... I don't think that was there when I did my show notes.
It was, because I created this last week because I didn't want to forget to review this book.
Oh.
It's been a week. So, we're going to review The Nautical Knits by Irina Anakieva.
Oh, cool.
So I'll make a note of that and we'll review it next week. Even though we were supposed to review it this week. That's totally my bad. Let's see. And we're going to do a giveaway.
Oh, fun.
So that'll be fun. What about reading books?
So I've been reading... I lost my middle grade reading mojo a little bit. Like, I had read Front Desk earlier this year, and I had read some other things. But I kind of lost my mojo. I only read this... I was looking at my Goodreads, because I put everything, for the most part, kids' books that I read, in Goodreads, and I had only read like 20 this year, which is really, really low for me. Usually I average more in the 50 range.
Yeah.
But I had just lost my kid reading mojo. So I'm slowly coming back to it, and one of the things that I wanted to spend a lot more time reading this year was graphic novels, because they're super popular in my library.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to make good recommendations. So I just got a new shipment of graphic novels in, and I read 3 of them. I read Witch's Boy. So these are all published by Scholastic, I believe. And I don't know the author's name off the top of my head. But it is about a boy who is being raised in a magical household. So his whole family is magical. And in this household, the women become witches, and the men become shapeshifters. And those are, like, the gender norms for this household. Well, he does not want to be a shapeshifter. He wants to be a witch. And so he sneaks in on the girls' lessons and gets into trouble for that. But slowly, the shapeshifter boys, his cousins, are disappearing. And he doesn't know why. And it turns out that there is a dragon that's involved. You know, I love dragons. Mm-hmm. But it really goes into... and also, he has longer hair. And it really kind of touches upon gender norms. Yeah. I also like how diverse the characters are. Like, his best friend is a person of color who has 2 dads. Mm-hmm. And then the second book, which is something witch... I'm not going to remember. Let me pull up my Goodreads real fast. There's a girl who moves to town who's in foster care. So there's like an eclectic, very diverse cast of characters. And while he's the main character, no one's more meaningful, you know, than each other. They all play pretty major roles. Let's see. So the first one is Witch's Boy. Internet is so slow. This happened last time.
Yeah.
Let me disconnect from your Wi-Fi. It might just be my phone. Oh, I can't. I have my Goodreads. Yeah, I have my Goodreads set up so that I can't access it if I'm offline.
The Witch's Boy. Is this the cover?
No. It's not the Kelly Barton Hill, although that is good. She won the Newbery. That's probably the majority that you're gonna get.
There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
The Witch Boy. Molly Alster
The Witch Boy. And then the second one... Will you click
I'm going down.
The Hidden Witch.
Okay.
Is the second one.
So I'll just link this in the
Thank you. Notes. You're so helpful. So those were really good, and they do kind of discuss gender norms and being outside a traditional role in your family, and family dynamics come into play a lot as well. And then the second one that I read is All's Fair. It is a graphic novel by the woman who wrote Roller Girl, who's Victoria Jameson, and it's All's Fair in middle school. And it is about a girl who has always been raised, homeschooled by parents who work in a Renaissance fair in Florida.
Oh, okay.
And she is going to public school for the first time in middle school. Yeah. So it's about surviving middle school to some degree, but also finding your own true self.
Right.
And being true to yourself as well. So that one's cute. I really like Roller Girl resonated a little bit more with me. All's Fair was not as good in my opinion as Roller Girl was. Which is kind of similar, like finding yourself, self-discovery type thing. Dealing with the loss of friends is, you know, as you grow up, your friends change.
Right. And it's a very dramatic thing during that time.
Oh, yeah. So that's Roller Girl more so than All's Fair. But All's Fair has, like, she's got a crush on an older knight who comes every year. It's very cutesy, middle grade. So that's what I've been reading. What have you been reading, friend?
I haven't been reading as much this week. Again, there were dragon babies.
that had to be hatched and saved.
Yeah, so I listened to audiobooks more than read this week. But I am still reading the 5th in the Rowan Harbor series. And yeah, I think that's all that I've been reading. No, what's all the blue stuff? Or Don't Touch the Blue Stuff. It's the second in the Where the Hell is Tesla series. I just started that one. I didn't put that on the list, but I need to. So I listened to the first 2 books in the Guild Codex Spellbound series. And the first 2 books are 3 Mages and a Margarita and Dark Arts and a Daiquiri. And it's kind of... I mean, it's good. It's like, you know, a woman who stumbles into a job in this bar that's really a guild for all these different magical... they call them mythics. But yeah, like vampires and witches and that sort of thing. And, but she's 100% human. And she sort of adds her own weird strength to the goings on there, and it's interesting. There's only 2 of the expected 3 books are out right now. Okay. And I went through them pretty quickly, and then
when does the 3rd one come out?
It doesn't say. I think February maybe is what it said, sometime in February. And then Signs of Cupidity, which was the play on stupidity.
Yeah, I got that.
Woman is
she Cupid?
She is a Cupid.
Oh.
She was a human, and she died at some point, and her afterworld job she got to choose was a Cupid.
I don't know that would be the job that I would choose.
Which she thought would be awesome, bringing love to all these people, but she's been doing it for over 50 years, and there's, like, she can't interact with them in any way.
No.
They don't see her, so...
Sounds like a terrible job.
So she gets reassigned to the Fae realm and then really annoys the Fae prince and by shooting him with love arrow after love arrow after love arrow, I guess. And
you're not selling me on this book.
Bad things happen. It's not great yet, but it's a reverse harem series. The first 2 are out. The 3rd one, I don't know if it had a release date on it or not. But the first book is so much like setup, where you have to learn the different species and the sort of attitudes of the different characters and their personalities and stuff. And in this particular reverse harem, there's 3 men and 1 woman. There's no actual sex or anything. But, I mean, it's okay, but it's a lot of...
setup.
Yeah, and a lot of, you know, thinking, why are you acting like a stupid little girl? You're annoying me. But I think
she did choose Cupid as her profession.
I think it's got potential. We'll see. But that's pretty much what I've been listening to. Let's see, what else? We talked about the weaving. We talked about the striped sock yarn thing last week.
Yes, I need to spin some Christmas lights to give away for that.
That's why Laura wanted the king bee back.
Yeah, because
none of her 8 wheels at her house would work for this.
No, well, I need a large orifice.
Yeah.
And also, like, it has to be a wheel that can take wire going through it, and a lot of mine are more fragile than wire. That makes sense. Wire's pretty rough as a spinner.
Yeah.
So this works well because the king bee has these pegs. It doesn't have hooks. If you have hooks, it tends to get caught on the hooks.
It has like these plastic pegs that you put the yarn around.
Yeah.
As you're feeding it through. Let's see. Oh, SSK. If you're going to SSK, the deposit payment deadline is this Saturday, Friday or Saturday. It's the 15th. 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. So it's the 15th, which is Saturday. Gwen has already emailed everyone. And we'll draw from the wait list
as soon as
that date has passed. Yeah.
Who's not going?
What else?
Patreon prizes? Are we going to do that this week?
I didn't pull the list.
Okay, so we're going to do that next week. And that'll be nice because you guys can see the finished yarn before we pull for it.
I think that's all I've got.
Thank you guys for all your advice with my ticket, by the way. That was very kind. Made me feel better. Like I wasn't alone.
And even those that didn't give advice, like that just commiserated, you know, that were just like...
That was kind.
Yeah. And I appreciate that no one was like, F the cops. Because that certainly was not where we were going. We have an appreciation for those who put themselves out there to do that kind of job. But it was just a comedy of errors that day.
Every day in my life is a comedy of errors. Pretty much guaranteed.
But yeah, so I think that's it. You guys have a lovely week, and we will talk to you again next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.